I do all my videos unscripted. I don't have any notes to look at. Make sure I stay on track. So if I see something shiny, I may get distracted. Squirrel. But just trying to give you a little update on the bee yard. There's not really anything going on in it other than getting it prepared for winter. Condensed the small hives, and combine them with another hive to try to boost the numbers, and take two small hives and turn it into one strong hive. Are good to go in the winter. Say I replaced three queens. I ordered those. They were Weaver queens out of Texas. I had one hive that was really aggressive that I didn't like, and there's still some of those aggressive bees. I was up here yesterday. I was going to shoot a little video, and I didn't have any veil or anything on, and I was standing on the other side of the yard, closer to the hives, and there was some guard bees, I guess, come out and headbutted me, and one of them immediately stung me on the back of the neck. So that was the end of the video at that point, because I hate getting stung, and it was too hot to suit up. So I'm up here this morning where it's a little cooler, and I'm on the other side of the yard, a little further away from the bees. They're not really concerned with me out here. And the aggressive, hives, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get stung if you get up here close to my bees. Now they're not going to come out in full force and attack you, but there's going to be a few bees headbutt you, buzz you, and you're probably going to take a sting or two if you stay around them without any protection. I suit up. I know I've said this before, but wintertime, I didn't do anything last winter. That was my first winter. I was going through the end of my first year, and I really didn't realize what I needed to be doing through the winter. This winter I know I need to be getting woodware ready for next spring. I'm going to try to build my own boxes. The 8 frames work better for me weight wise, because they can fill up an 8 frame medium pretty fast, and it takes more boxes. That's another, I don't know, con, I guess you could say, with 8 frame mediums. It just takes more boxes, more frames. If 3 of them equal 2 10 frame deeps, that's 24 frames instead of 20, plus the extra wood as far as the boxes go. They get taller, as they grow. In fact, this one on the end, I think earlier in the year, it was 8 or 9 boxes high, and it was at the limit that I could stand on the ground, and reach. I just couldn't keep the numbers down. We had an extremely large flow, or at least I did, with all the wildflowers I have in these pastures here, and then the surrounding pastures, around me. The bees just boomed. So I don't know, next spring, if these 12 triple, I'm going to go from 12 to maybe 36 or even 40. So if you figure those 40 hives and you get them into 3 boxes, that's 120 boxes. That's a lot of work this winter that I've got to prepare for next spring. So everybody that new to beekeeping, this was my second year, and I learned a lot in my second year. I just want to give you a heads up for everybody out there that's new to bees, and I'm no expert. A 2-year bee, there's still a lot to learn. There's people that's been doing this for 10, 20 years, and they're still learning. The bees can be unpredictable. Just because things work one year doesn't mean it's going to work the next year. They keep you on your toes. They take up a lot of your time. When people tell you they've been busy with their bees, they've been busy with their bees. Because bees, if you want to keep bees, you're going to be busy. Don't inspect them. You're probably going to lose them. Now, I'm not saying you're going to lose them all. They're going to swarm. They're going to hit the trees. They're going to take a lot of bees with them when they do. You're probably not going to get any honey. So if you're after honey, you're going to have to take the time to get into your bees and give them enough room to expand. Try to keep them from swarming. And that takes time. This is turning into a long video. I'm going to have to do a lot of editing. So if I've got any advice for you new beekeepers, these old beekeepers should already know. Think about future expansion. It's going to happen. It will happen. If I've learned anything in the 2 years keeping bees multiply. They multiply a lot. Think about getting more boxes ready for next spring. If you just want to keep 1 or 2 hives, you gotta find an outlet to get rid of your extra bees. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling out here. Like I say, I don't have a script. I don't take notes. I barely take notes on my beehives, and I'm trying to correct that. I just got a little notepad and sitting in there in the barn out of the weather that I scribble on from time to time. And I'd started that when I did my queen replacements. All last year I never took a single note. I just had 4 hives, and I kept up with it pretty good in my head. Then when I started getting more hives, it got harder to keep it straight. I couldn't remember. I didn't have nothing numbered. Wasn't color coded. I was pretty unorganized, and the bees were busy, and I had a hard time keeping up with it. Take notes. Write it down. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm sure y'all heard that. Right now, I think I've got them in pretty good shape. They're bringing in their fall harvest, so to speak. Like I said, I started with 2 hives. I bought 2 packages. Started with that, and then I caught an early swarm, and then a late swarm last year, my first year. So that grew to 4 hives, and I was fine with that. But I didn't realize that those 4 hives was going to expand like they did. I was new to it, like like everybody else getting into them the first time. You think you've read up on it and got a pretty good idea. But you can't read it all. I can tell you that. The bees don't read the books at all. And I've thought about getting out here with a bee manual and reading to them, but I know they wouldn't listen to me. They don't listen to me anytime. The bees don't read the books. They don't. They don't always follow what was written in a book. So you can take that to the bank. Sooner or later, they're going to surprise you. I'm pretty sure people that's done this for 40 years can tell you the same thing. Even they get surprised once in a while. Or I say surprised, that's just the word I'm using. There's been a lot of things written on bees. There's a lot of information on things that can happen. But there's unwritten things also that there's still things that's not in these books. Either that or they don't emphasize it enough. They're going to expand, and you're either going to have to deal with them or let them go to the trees. That's the only choices you have. If you let them go to the trees, to establish feral colonies, that's your choice. But to me, there's going to be some escape you anyway. There's always going to be some feral bees somewhere, because you can't catch them all. They may swarm and you may not even know it. Luckily, they seem to like this tree here next to my bee yard, and they usually, if they swarm, can you believe this? I want you to look up here. Let me get my monitor around here. Look at this. I want you to look up here. Where's it at? I want you to look up here in this tree. Look at that. Look at that. Well, I'm going to cut this off. And I'm going to go up here and check this out.